Welcome to the 13th edition of the Tempo Storm Shadowverse Meta Snapshot Breakdown. As part of our commitment to bringing you the latest and greatest in games we're passionate about, we're excited to share with you new developments in our monthly Shadowverse Meta Snapshot on Tempo strategy. Let's break down what's happened so far. While the power ranking of decks appear similar to our previous edition, there have still been some meaningful changes in this month's Meta Snapshot. Notably, the gap between each tier has widened as players get accustomed to relevant matchups. Machina Portal experienced a popularity boost to become a Tier 1 deck due to being a new deck that's easy to play. We encourage you to give this featured list a shot in the description below. We are also seeing more decks drop from the bottom of Tier 2 to Tier 3. Among these decks are older Shadowcraft decks that were experimented with during the initial release period of the mini expansion. All is not lost for Shadowcraft players though. However, a newer Machina Yokai hybrid Shadow that had been making some waves redeemed itself recently, as competitive player Kaban achieved an impressive 34-game win streak with the archetype. Before we feature more of the best Shadowverse decks in the rotation format, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Tempo strategy content, including next week's Legends of Runeterra Meta Snapshot breakdown. First, let's go over what makes Machina Blood so powerful. Empowered by the new card Ravening Corruption, Machina Blood remains at the top of Tier 1. The deck has it all, with healing from Sanguine Core, generating strong boards with Natura on Machinas, and Neon Daybreak Vampire, then ending the game with Mono Garnet Rebel. This has been the deck of choice across multiple high-level JCG tournaments in Japan, and its ease of play also made the deck the favorite weapon of choice in the most recent Tempo Storm Buddy System event. In fact, as Machina Blood players learn to pilot the deck's range of win rates in several matchups have been getting a slight bump. The number 2 deck is Natura Dragon. Not only does it have a consistent win condition, but Natura Dragon can also high roll into strong turns with an early Natter on Machinas. None of the cards from the World Uprooted mini expansion managed to add much to the deck, so fortunately this can be a decent pick for players saving up for the next full expansion. Roach Forest continues to function as a strong deck against many popular matchups. Matchups-wise, the deck now finds itself even against all the other Tier 1 decks and is heavily favored against the Tier 1 Machina Portal. The OTK Whirlwind Rhinoceroach combo and combo tools are potent features on the rotation ladder. The new Elf Queen of Abundant Life has become a less popular addition, while most players are favoring Windfall Fae. Roach Forest is the only deck featured in Tier 1 and 2, which has been given an even matchup against Machina Blood, making this a strong choice given the Bloodcraft deck's popularity. Artifact Portal remains in the 4th position of the Meta Snapshot tier list. The composition of the deck has not changed much in past weeks. However, some players are dropping the value-oriented Ralmia Sonic Racer for the cheap but powerful removal Sure-Sighted Lancer, which is better situated for removing Machina Portal's Baphomet World Reaver. Artifact Portal remains a high skill level deck that gets better when piloted correctly, and where misplays are very punishing. For players looking for a deck that won't lose automatically to Roach Forest and can beat Natura Dragon, check out the Artifact Portal guide written by Tempo Shadowverse pro player Noir on our website. Machina Portal finds itself bumped up from Tier 2 to the bottom of Tier 1, thanks to the 2 support cards it received in the mini expansion. The deck revolves around fusing Machina cards into Baphomet World Reaver to spawn a board full of tentacles. The deck utilizes Magna Giant to clear huge boards generated by popular decks in the current meta, such as those created by Neon Daybreak Vampire and Natter on Machinas. Machina Portal is relatively straightforward to play, allowing even inexperienced players to obtain decent results, thus giving this archetype a popularity boost in the past weeks. For this Meta Snapshot, our panel of experts recommend laddering with Machina Blood and Natura Dragon. These decks have solid matchups across the board and are relatively straightforward to pilot. They are also favored when going first, which offers a slight advantage over a series of ladder games. If you want to play the villain and flood the board against the top Tier 1 decks, consider giving Machina Portal a shot. While it has less favorable matchups compared to its Artifact Portal cousin, it is arguably the easiest deck to play out of all the Tier 1 decks. Just remember to pick a time when all the Roach Forest players are asleep. In conclusion, we don't expect many major top tier meta shifts for the rest of the expansion period. While the popularity of decks may change periodically, it should not have too much impact on the overall ranking as the current top meta decks are well-rounded and dominant. To see these decks in action, the next Tempo Storm Shadowverse Buddy System will take place on June 20th, and the Rage Grand Finals will take place later that evening. Spoiler season for the new expansion is also just right around the corner. As our main story cast explores new worlds, the Meta Snapshot team is looking forward to new archetypes and new ways to win matches. Watch for a special video on the 4-year anniversary of Shadowverse next week. Let us know what you want to see in the next expansion in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more tempo strategy content. Happy laddering!